Hello. Today we're going to talk about something a bit sensitive. It's a topic that a lot of people deal with, but often in silence. And to get us started, I want to share a quick story about a colleague of mine, a wonderful dermatologist named Dr. Sarah Chen. She was doing a home visit with one of her patients, a 73-year-old woman named Linda. And Linda's home was spotless, she was immaculate, but Dr. Chen noticed this faint, kind of sour odor. And she realized something profound. Linda, like so many others, was stuck in a cycle. She was doing all these things she thought were helping, but they were actually making the problem worse. And that's exactly what we're going to unpack today, the hidden science behind this very common issue. And this, right here, is the most important thing I want you to hear today. Please, let this sink in. This isn't about being dirty. It has absolutely nothing to do with poor hygiene. This is about chemistry, it's about biology, it's about how our skin, our body's largest organ, changes as we get older, and how the habits we have every single day can either help that protective barrier or, well, strip it away. Our whole goal here is to get rid of any shame and replace it with solid, scientific understanding.
So, here's our plan. First, we're going to talk about just how common this really is. Then, we'll start a countdown of the 6 biggest mistakes people make in the bathroom, starting with number 6, 5, and 4. After that, we'll dig into the top 3, the most personal and, honestly, the most impactful habits. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with some simple steps you can take to bring your body back into its natural balance. Sound good? Let's dive in. Okay, so first things first. That change in personal scent that can happen after menopause, it's not in your head. Not at all. It is a real, well-documented scientific phenomenon. Millions and millions of women go through this, and so many of them do it in silence, thinking they're somehow doing something wrong. But I'm here to tell you, it's a shared experience, and it's all rooted in the natural hormonal and chemical shifts that come with aging.
Now, take a look at this number on the screen, 82%. A recent study in dermatology found that over 82% of senior women notice a significant change in their personal scent. That's more than 8 out of 10. That's a huge majority. So if you've noticed this yourself, please know you are so far from being alone. This is a normal part of the body's journey, and just understanding that is the first, most powerful step.
All right, let's get right into the practical stuff. We're going to start our countdown of the 6 big mistakes. And we'll begin with the habits that are, frankly, the easiest to change. The things we use and the routines we do every single day, without even thinking about them. Let's kick it off with number 6. This one is surprisingly common, and it can set the stage for odor problems all day long.
Okay, mistake number 6, reusing the same washcloth day after day. It seems pretty harmless, right? Maybe even a bit resourceful. But here's the reality. That damp cloth hanging in your shower, it's the perfect, warm, moist, 5-star resort for bacteria to grow and multiply. You see, as we age, our skin sheds cells a bit faster and produces fewer of its natural protective oils, which basically creates an all-you-can-eat buffet for these tiny microorganisms.
And the scale of this is just mind-blowing. Researchers at the University of Michigan did a study, and they found that after just 3 days of use, an average washcloth can be home to, get this, 17 million bacteria per square inch. Let that number sink in. 17 million. So every time you reuse that cloth, you're not just wiping yesterday's germs back onto your clean skin, you are literally using what scientists call a bacterial multiplication chamber.
So, what do we do about it? Well, the solution is simple. It's a system that hygiene specialists call the daily rotation system. It's easy. Step 1. Use a fresh, clean washcloth every single day. No exceptions. Think of it like changing your socks. Step 2. When you wash them, use hot water, we're talking at least 140 degrees Fahrenheit or 60 Celsius, and toss in a cup of white vinegar. That'll kill 99.9% of those germs. And finally, step 3. Make sure you hang your towels and washcloths so they can dry completely. Bacteria can't grow on dry fabric. Simple as that.
Let's move on to mistake number 5, and this is a big one. It's relying on those heavily scented soaps, lotions, and body washes. I know, the personal care aisle is just an explosion of April Fresh and Island Breeze, promising to make you smell wonderful. But here's the hard truth. These products are often doing the exact opposite. Those artificial fragrances and harsh chemicals are basically waging a war on your skin's very delicate ecosystem.
This breaks it down perfectly. On one side, you have scented products. They're just a mask, a temporary cover-up. They disrupt your skin's microbiome, that community of good bacteria that protects you. And some of those chemicals can even feed the bad, odor-causing bacteria.
But on the other side, you have pH-balanced, fragrance-free cleansers. They do the complete opposite. They support your natural microbiome, which in turn helps reduce odor at its source by helping the good bacteria thrive and keep the bad guys in check.
And the proof is in the pudding. A study out of Stanford found that women who made this one simple switch, just going from scented products to unscented pH-balanced ones, saw a 73% reduction in body odor. And that was in just 2 weeks. 73%. That is a massive improvement, and it just goes to show you the power of working with your body's natural defenses, not against them.
All right, now for mistake number 4. This is a habit that so many of us fall into without even a second thought. Sitting on the toilet for too long, often while straining. Spending 15-20 minutes there, maybe scrolling on your phone or reading a book, it actually puts a tremendous amount of pressure on your pelvic floor. For older women, whose skin can be more delicate, this can lead to microscopic tears in the perineal skin, creating the perfect entry points for odor-causing bacteria.
And look at this data from the Cleveland Clinic. It's really eye-opening. It shows that spending more than 10 minutes on the toilet can lead to a 340% higher concentration of odor-causing bacteria in that very sensitive region. 340%. Plus, the straining can actually push bacteria into places they're not supposed to be. So the solution is pretty straightforward. Drink more water, get more fiber to make things go smoother, maybe use a little toilet stool to get in a better posture, and most importantly, set a 5-minute timer on your phone. When that timer goes off, you get up.
Okay, we've gone through the first 3 habits. Now, we're going to move into the top 3. These are the ones that are a little more intimate, a little harder to talk about sometimes, but they have the biggest impact by far. Getting these habits right can truly transform your body's natural balance, and you'll want to stick around because mistake number 1 is the one that shocks almost everybody I talk to.
So, mistake number 3 is about something we've all done our entire lives, usually on autopilot: wiping. The thing is, due to normal age-related changes in things like flexibility or mobility or even vision, many women are unknowingly using techniques that actually spread bacteria around instead of completely removing it. And this can leave behind microscopic residue that fuels odor all day long.
A study in the Journal of Geriatric Medicine published this pretty shocking statistic. 78% of senior women are using wiping methods that are considered incomplete or incorrect. 78%! Here's the problem. Standard dry toilet paper alone, even if your technique is perfect, can leave behind up to 30% of fecal bacteria. And that residue, well, it's a feast for microbes that produce some pretty unpleasant odors. So what do the experts recommend? It's something called the Complete Clean Protocol. It's a simple 4-step process. First, do an initial clean with your regular toilet paper. Second, follow that up with a fragrance-free, alcohol-free moist wipe. And the key here is to pat, not rub. Be gentle. Third, and this is important, pat the area completely dry with a clean tissue. Moisture is bacteria's best friend. And fourth, the golden rule we all learned as kids: always, always wipe from front to back.
Coming in at number 2 is our choice of underwear. We're talking about both the fabric it's made from and how long we wear it. And believe me, this is way more important than most people think. The wrong fabric, like nylon or polyester, can create what microbiologists call an incubator effect, trapping heat and moisture right up against your skin. It's the perfect storm for bacterial growth.
This timeline from an NYU study is just wild. When you put on a fresh pair of underwear in the morning, it already has about 10,000 bacteria per square centimeter. By midday, that growth starts to accelerate, and by the end of the day, that number explodes to over 100 million organisms. 100 million. And as I said, synthetic fabrics make it even worse. So the solution here is an underwear overhaul. Switch to breathable fabrics like cotton or bamboo, and on warm days, or if you're active, seriously consider changing them twice a day. It makes a huge difference.
And here we are, the number 1 mistake, the single habit that a whopping 94% of women believe is keeping them clean, but is, in reality, the biggest cause of that persistent, hard-to-eliminate odor. It is overwashing the genital area, especially with harsh soaps and those so-called feminine washes. This is the ultimate hygiene paradox, and understanding this is the real key to solving the problem. Just look at this chart. This research from Mount Sinai Hospital is probably the most stunning thing we'll see today. On the left, you see the baseline amount of odor-causing bacteria when washing with just plain water. Now look at the middle bar. Using regular soap can lead to 12 times more of that bad bacteria. But then, look at the bar on the right. For those special feminine hygiene washes, the bacterial count can be up to 100 times higher. I have to say that again because it's so important. 100 times worse. The very products marketed to make you feel clean and fresh are doing the exact opposite. And now, let's look at why.
Here's the science behind it. Your body is brilliant. It has this natural defense mechanism called the acid mantle. Think of it as a very fine, invisible, slightly acidic shield on your skin's surface. This shield creates an environment where bad, odor-causing bacteria just can't survive. But what do soaps and washes do? They're alkaline. They completely destroy this protective layer, neutralizing your skin's pH, and basically rolling out the red carpet for odor-causing pathogens to take over and flourish. You are literally washing away your body's own best protection.
So we've gone through all 6 mistakes. What's the one big idea that ties all the solutions together? It's really simple. The goal isn't to be cleaner in that old-fashioned sense of scrubbing everything with harsh soaps and covering things up with perfume. The goal is to work with your body. It's all about restoring that natural, delicate balance of your skin's microbiome and protecting that acid mantle. It's about letting your body's own amazing systems do the job they were designed to do.
We have covered a lot of ground today, from what's in your laundry to what's in your shower. But the really good news is that every single solution we talked about is a small, simple change. You don't have to do everything all at once. So I'll leave you with this question. Looking back at everything we've discussed, what is the one simple change you can make first to start restoring your body's natural balance? Just picking one thing is a powerful first step. If you found this information helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. We create content just like this to help you understand the amazing science of your body. Thanks so much for your time today, and we'll see you in the next one.